Alright, this is a special project. This is a diorama I made recreating a page out of issue 17, I believe, of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book. This issue's from 1988. It was done by Eric Talbot. And incidentally, he is my tattoo artist that I've been going to for a TMNT original tattoo by him. So I made this piece as like just a little gift for him in appreciation for the tattoo work he's done on me. And so yeah, here I'm just getting the armature together. This right here is the moon that's going to go in the background. I just basically mixed that glue with water, did a little paper mache with that, and I pressed it onto that moon-shaped light. Kind of used it as a template. I just got those little fairy lights from Amazon for like $2 or something to put behind it. Here I'm using a printout of that original page as kind of like a template, trying to make sure I got the pose right. Right here, I guess I'm trying to figure out how big I'm gonna make the gravestone. Just kind of blocking out the body shape here. That little tool I'm using there is a tool I made out of an old guitar string. It might be a bass string, I don't know. But it works really well for blending the surface of the clay together, like in between those muscles there. I guess right here I'm making the straps, the wraps that are going to go around his legs. Yeah. You can see Addie's helping me a little bit right there, rolling out some clay. Really, I don't have to worry too much about the back side of this. So the back of these legs where these wraps are at probably might look a little sloppy, but you're never ever going to get to see the back because this is a diorama, so it's just got to look good from the front, really. Here I'm just using little pieces of wire so I can make the fingers decently strong so they don't break off. Turtle butt. Here, I think my idea was to make these little blades of grass. If you look at the original picture, there's a bunch of little blades of grass sticking up, and I'm trying to make the base, build up the ground a little bit with the tinfoil. I ended up just cutting a bunch of little pieces of black wire, I think, for most of the blades of grass. I guess here I've got the tombstone done already, and I'm using that little tool to shape in some toenails. There's some footage on this that I either shot with a different camera and I couldn't figure out how to transfer it to this video, so I just scrapped it. And then there's a couple other times I thought I was recording and I wasn't, so you'll see this jump around a little bit. These feet are just magically done now, and I've got the base on. And I've got him kind of in this wooden box diorama set thing, which I bought off Amazon. Can't remember exactly where I got it, but it works really well for these kind of projects. running the ball stylus along those little pieces of, those little strips of cloth, what they're supposed to look like cloth anyway, really does wonders for that. Really adds a level of detail that is a little more believable than if it was just a straight piece laying across his foot. I did make this piece so you could pull this out of the box and have it be kind of like a standalone statue. So I had to do a little bit of detail on the backside, but I didn't go crazy with it. A little bacon bond on there to hold that tombstone in place. I had a lot of difficulties keeping that thing in place. Matter of fact, the first tombstone I made was way too big, so I had to scrap the whole thing and do it over again. The head's already on there now. I guess I don't know if I even recorded sculpting that or not. Here, I think I'm just painting some rubbing alcohol on to smooth everything out. I think that's what I'm doing here. I'm just evening out the ground. And here comes the blades of grass. Oh yeah, some of them are little pieces of guitar string. We've got guitar string, some bonsai wire, and some little pre-baked rollies. And then some of them are even sculpted into the front of that tombstone. I was surprised this grass came out looking as good as it did. I was really struggling with this. You can tell I was trying guitar wire. I was trying everything. I ended up going with a mix of everything, and it turned out pretty good once it was painted. Here I'm trying to get a good position on the staff that he's got in the picture. Using this wire tool to just make some striations in the clay to make it look like wood. Looks like it was too long. Oh yeah, in the original picture he's got it sharpened. It's like a spear. More striations. All right, what's going on here? Okay, it looks like I'm working on the moon. Okay, yeah, all I did was take some black paint, watered up tissue, and kind of just blotted it on there, making the little shadows and craters in the moon. This effect worked really well, actually. I didn't know what I originally thought I was going to drill a hole in that. I think I tried to, and it was a disaster, so I don't remember what I ended up doing here. It's been over a year since I've completed this project. I just haven't gotten around to finish editing it and doing a little voiceover, and just now getting around to it. I did that blotting technique on both sides of it, just for good measure. Not too much on the front side. Yeah, this was a disaster. I'm trying to drill through it with a Dremel tool, a Dremel sanding tool, and I'm like burning the wood. I guess my idea was I was going to run the wires through that. Then I was going to try to cut it with an X-Acto knife, which is like it's 1/4 inch balsa wood or something. So not quite as easy as I thought that was going to be. This is like black felt kind of stuff. I think this is for like the inside of jewelry boxes, that kind of fuzzy material. I wanted to use it so I didn't get, if I just painted it black, I'd get a reflection and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to create the illusion of darkness inside there. So with this light, okay, so that doesn't look too bad. I guess I use this insulation foam as like a background, and that works out pretty well. Yeah, cutting through that balsa wood wasn't gonna do it. This, I just kind of just plopped these little pieces on here and created a hand holding that staff after the fact instead of making the hand and then trying to fit the staff in it. That would have been a nightmare. Got the guitar tool again to blend all this together. Really, I don't have to do much blending because the muscles on this guy are pretty comic booky and exaggerated, so. Again, I didn't really have to do much detail on his head because he's gonna have a hood on, and I don't think I recorded. I think I lost me recording the cape. Really, all I did was soak a piece of black t-shirt in some of that glue water mixture again and kind of formed it into a shape. Now here I was just making a stone texture on this gravestone with that tinfoil ball. Rub it with some alcohol. I think this is the gravestone that says Talbot on it. It's where Eric signed his picture there. I tried to get the handwriting and everything as close to accurate as I could, is how it looks in the picture. So here I'm just doing a base coat. This is just acrylic craft paint. Black base coat, that way when I go to dry brush the gray colors on, it'll give the effect of having detail and depth to it. This isn't your typical turtle. He doesn't have a mask on. He doesn't have the elbow pads and all that kind of stuff. There it is with the full black base coat. Now this part's, I like the dry brushing. It's kind of like magic instant detail. Got his eyes painted bright white though. They weren't white they don't stand out like that in the original drawing, but kind of just added that little detail myself there. Thought it looked kind of cool. Looks like his head's not fully on there. Not really fully attached. It's kind of wobbling. The detail really shows really well on these cloth wraps he's got around his legs and arms there. He still looks a little bit goofy. The head looks a little large, but once I got I knew that once I got that cape on there, that would hide a lot of that. Here we go. Light enough dry brushing and the words should pop out on this pretty good, on this gravestone. He did this full page piece in that issue, dedicated it to the Misfits. He told me the story about it. I can't really remember. It was a cool story though. He met them and ended up designing a t-shirt for them, and it's like one of the rarest shirts ever. I've tried to track one down and I can't, but thought it was pretty cool that he actually designed a shirt for the Misfits and did this whole page for him in the issue. So here's the back of this. It's got little magnets in there so you can have access to the battery pack. And see, now I designed this to where it can go in between those books there and kind of sit on your shelf. And as you can see, That's why the head was still wobbly, because I needed to be able to take it off to put that cape on. And you can see the graves in the back there. I didn't get any of that stuff recorded of me making those, but there it is with the moon all lit up and sitting there on the shelf. I tried to get as many good angles of this as I could because I knew I was giving it to him the next day, so I'd never see it again. So wanted to make sure I got it. There's the original side by side. And that's it. Thanks for watching.